Argentina in the 1970s was in big trouble. The government was having a hard time staying in charge. Groups who wanted big changes started using violence and other groups fought back. It was a scary time. The army, a powerful group in Argentina, was worried. They thought the fighting was bad for the country. They thought they needed to take charge to fix things. Their chance came in 1976. On March 24th, 1976, the army, led by General Jorge Rafael Videla, took over the government. This started what we now call Argentina's dirty war, 7 years of really bad things happening. The army said they needed to stop the violence. They said they would get rid of the groups causing trouble, but what they really wanted was to stay in power no matter what. With the army in charge, things got very bad in Argentina. They quickly took away everyone's freedoms. They closed Congress and got rid of political parties. They took control of the courts, so there was no more democracy. People couldn't say what they thought. Newspapers and TV were controlled by the army. Anyone who spoke against the army was silenced. Universities were attacked. Professors lost their jobs, students were scared, and books were burned. The army was very harsh. Anyone they thought was against them, even regular people, could be a target. It was a time of fear where nobody felt safe. One of the worst things the army did was make people disappear. They would take people from their homes or jobs, usually at night, and nobody would ever see them again. Men in regular clothes, driving regular cars, would kidnap people. The victims were taken to secret jails all over the country. These secret jails were terrible places. People were tortured. They were beaten, shocked with electricity, and abused. The army wanted to break people, make them tell secrets, and scare everyone into silence. As more and more people disappeared, a group of mothers whose children were taken refused to be quiet. These brave women, known as the Mothers of the Plaza de Mayo, fought for the truth. They started by meeting in the Plaza de Mayo, a big square in Buenos Aires. They wanted everyone to see them and hear their questions. They wore white scarves with the names of their missing children and held their pictures. Every Thursday they came back and more people joined them. They stood there silently asking, "Where are our children?" The army didn't like this, but the mothers were brave and didn't stop. They became famous for their courage. Even though the army tried to keep it secret, stories of bad things happening in Argentina got out. People around the world started to worry. The Mothers of the Plaza de Mayo helped tell the world what was going on. They talked to people from other countries and told their stories. More and more people supported them. The army became unpopular. Other countries didn't like what they were doing. They even stopped trading with Argentina. Then the army tried to take over the Falkland Islands, but they lost the war against the United Kingdom. This made them even weaker, and soon they lost power. When democracy came back to Argentina in 1983, the country started to look at what had happened. A group was created to find out what happened to the missing people. They talked to survivors and families and wrote a report about the terrible things the army had done. The leaders of the army were put on trial. Everyone in Argentina could watch the trials on TV. It was important to show that these bad people would be punished. But getting justice was hard. Many people who did bad things were never punished. The fight for justice still goes on today. The Dirty War hurt Argentina very deeply. It's something people still remember and talk about. So many people disappeared, and that caused a lot of sadness. Finding out the truth about what happened became very important to everyone. The Dirty War also changed how Argentina does its politics. People learn not to trust the army too much and to protect everyone's rights. Argentina has tried hard to remember the people who were lost. They built parks and museums to honor the victims. The Park of Memory in Buenos Aires has a wall with the names of all the people who disappeared. The Ismay Museum is in a building that was once a secret jail. You can see where people were kept and tortured. Remembering what happened is important so that it never happens again. Even after all these years, Argentina is still dealing with what happened during the Dirty War. Some people who did bad things are still free. It's hard to decide what to do. Some people want to forgive, and some people want justice. Argentina's story teaches us how important democracy is and how dangerous it is when a few people have all the power. It also shows us how important it is to protect everyone's rights. Argentina is trying to learn from the past and build a better future. It's a long and hard road, but they are showing the world that even after very bad things, good things can happen.